Right,
Have I got...
everybody. Oh, good morning, everybody. I have a very special guest. I hope you've had a very good Christmas and Boxing Day. All I'm going to have to say is I'm really, really honoured. Finally, I have Mr. Tom Baird, author of a Roach called Wensum. Oh, we had a few little sort of funny questions and answers there behind the camera and behind the scenes, and are full of laughter there. I'll explain that afterwards. Welcome to the Phil Carew Show, Tom Baird. How are you?
I'm very well, mate. Thank you for having me, and happy Christmas.
Oh, thank you very much. And I hope you had a lovely Boxing Day too.
Yes, I did. Yes. Very good.
Right, folks. Right, I know this is pre-recorded, but we're always going to have fun on this. The first question I'm going to ask, Tom, is how long have you been fishing for?
I thought you were going to ask something else then. Good. I'm glad it is a fish-related question. So I started fishing in 1988.
Ooh.
Yeah, so when I had hair, and I was a young whippersnapper, and I had 1988 I started fishing, so quite a long time. Yeah.
Oh. So who taught you to fish, or were you self-taught? Was you taught by your dad, or was it an uncle, a relative?
Yeah,
or was
it was
self-taught?
It was my dad initially. So I pestered him for a long time, and then I finally eventually got him to take me fishing in Upminster, South Essex, on the borderline with London. So it was a lovely little park called Parklands in Upminster, and yeah, that's where it all started. And I got the craze and, pardon the pun, hooked onto fishing. So lame. But yeah, so it was really good, and yeah, I've never looked back really from that time.
Is there anybody else? I know myself, but this is for the audience. Is there anybody else, like family members or friends, that you got involved in your fishing?
Yeah, so it was more of like, it was like a family affair really. So you had my great uncle Richard, nicknamed Dick, go with us. My uncle Joe used to take me, and my brothers. So it used to be, if it weren't with my dad and brothers, it would, like, my great uncle sometimes used to tag along. It's pretty much a family affair all round. Quite a lot of fishermen in the family, anglers, and then obviously now it's passed on to the next generation, which is quite cool.
Oh, brilliant. Have you ever had the pleasure of wearing those lovely waders right up here? Oh.
Yes. Yeah, I wear chest waders. Yeah, I wear chest waders. Depends what type of fishing or what you're fishing for. So when I'm in the river fishing for trout or chub, I'm on nice gravels, I'm not sinking into silt, then I might chuck on a pair of waders, usually up North Essex, Colchester way, Langham. I'll put on a pair of chest or fire waders, depends how deep the water is, and get in the water and chuck the line out. Yeah, it's quite cool.
Well, brilliant. What was the funniest moment you can remember so far during your fishing experience?
I have a long list, unfortunately. It's usually me.
Is there one of most yourself? Brilliant.
Yeah. Most recent, so we was fishing at Langham actually. So I took the wife and kids to Langham, which is the River Stour or the River Stour, depends on what side of the river you're on. So on the Suffolk side, it's the Stour. On the Essex side, Stour. We went down to Langham fishing for chub. And it was quite boggy and slippery and wet. So Dad went first, as you do, to create a path and make sure the kids follow your footsteps. And on the way back, we saw mudjack, we saw kingfishers. It was really nice, tranquil moment, just me and the kids and the wife. And we on the way back, we were going down a bit of a slope, and then going back up on the slope, so like declining and then inclining, and there's a bit of a dip. And I turned around to the kids. I went, "Be careful! It's really muddy and slippery here." And then as I turned around, whoop, up in the air I flew. I had a chair on my back, all my fishing gear, my rods, and I went smack straight on the floor. And then there was like that's what I did, Phil. That's what I did. I went, I was in pain, but my family didn't.
No.
My family didn't care about that. So
poor you.
there was a silent pause for about 2 seconds, and then a fit of laughter. And I was surprised Amy didn't get the phone out really to record me. So yeah, it was mud was all up my back, on the back of my bald head, where I slid down this bank and onto my back, and my back landed on the chair which was on my back. So I was in pain. I felt winded. As you get older, you can't handle it as much, as I found out. And yeah, so that's the most recent funny one for not necessarily for me. Obviously, I laugh about it now, but for my family, that's the most funniest thing so far this year that happened. So yeah, I was in fits of laughter.
Oh wow! What gave you the idea? Oh bless you! Oh poor Tom. What gave you the idea to have a book about a roach called Wensum?
So, I wasn't a very academic person at school, as you can probably tell. So even my mum and dad are still shocked to this day. I think my mum still has to pinch herself and say, "Has he written a book? Can he class himself as an author? Is he a published author?" And yes, I can. But as I've got older, I started appreciating things in different ways and looking at things in different light. So it just entered my head one day. I think it was like 2018. I thought to myself, because I'm a bit of a kid myself, so I don't really do adult books. I like the Gruffalo. I like books like that. I understand them books. That's to my age level. So I'm happy when the kids go, "Dad, can you read me a book?" I always pick like, a Gruffalo book or something like that. So I was like, I want to write a book. I think I can do this for my age set. So
Bless you.
So I sat down. I had an idea in my head, and unfortunately, in 2018, an amazing legend of an angler, fisherman, John Wilson, who used to be on telly, had books and that, passed away, and he was kind of like my fishing hero. He was the man who I used to watch with my dad and got me more into fishing. So he passed away in November 2018, and it got me thinking, let's do a book getting John involved. So I'm very, very fortunate that I know John's family members. So I know Lisa Wilson, his daughter. So I approached Lisa and said, "I want to write a children's book, but I want to involve your dad." So that's what I did. So as you go through the story, the book takes you on this journey, and in the middle of the book features John. So John's in the book as a cartoon character, which was harder than what I thought was going to be. I thought, yeah, you can turn anybody into a cartoon character. You can't. So I turned him into a cartoon character, and he features in the book. And then at the end of the book, there's a dedication to John. Little picture which Lisa gave me, thank God. And yeah, so it's led there. So, and the title comes from, so in Norfolk, there's a famous river called the River Wensum. And that was one of John's favourite rivers to fish. So I fished there, lucky enough myself, where John used to fish. And one of John's favourite fish, apart from bream, was big roach. So, and in the River Wensum years ago, you used to get £2 plus roach, which are quite big for roach. That's a good size roach. That's like a dream size roach. So that's why I based the book on a roach called Wensum, because of the River Wensum and John, really, and went from there.
No, I'm proud of you. I'm really proud
Thanks,
of
mate.
you. Like, yeah, I was surprised myself, and I thought, oh, mate, this is brilliant. I've got to get Tom. I've got to get Tom. You know, it's going to be one of the highlights of the end of the year. You know, it'd be brilliant.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, it'd be great. No, you're welcome, Tom. Yeah. The other thing is, I know you're because you're like a big kid like myself.
Absolutely.
If you had any superpowers, which ones would you have, and why would you have them? Which ones would you have?
Double loaded question, that, isn't it? Oh,
yeah.
And you got me saying in it.
In it.
Yeah, in it. So superpowers and superhero. See, I like Batman. Batman was, for me, growing up in the 80s when the first Batman came out. Was it with Michael Keaton?
That's it.
Yeah, Batman always, I liked him because he didn't have any superpowers. So he had to do it himself. He had to learn the martial art. He had to learn and study and train for it, where even though other superheroes, I don't want to dash any kids' dreams or anything, even though other superheroes are born with them powers, say like Superman, you know, and amazing powers, Batman, I thought, had to earn it, and I kind of respected him for that. So I would like to have similar, not superpowers, but powers to do what Batman does. You know, bit of a vigilante, really, isn't he? He takes the law into his own hands, which I don't recommend doing. But have loads of little people running around as Batman in a minute. But yeah, I like that more than like proper. Mind you, I do like to think of power of flight. That would save a lot on air miles, wouldn't it? And be a bit more economically friendly for the world. So maybe flight. I wouldn't mind flight as my superpower. And then give people lifts. So if you wanted to go on holiday, Phil, I'll give you a lift. And you'll be there quicker than Concorde, hopefully. I don't know. Mind you, I'm quite chubby. Yeah, I'm quite chubby, so I might take a bit longer than Concorde.
No, you'll be all right.
Very nice.
Extra power, the extra power.
Power of losing weight. That'd be a good one, wouldn't it? Hey? Imagine that. I could eat all them mince pies and that, and I wouldn't have to worry about next Christmas.
No, that's it. That's it. Just every time you eat, you just never put it on.
Yeah. So I respect Batman, but the power of flight, I think. And then you could do great stuff like rescues as well, couldn't you? Where where the air ambulance or Coast Guard can't get, you can fly in and help save them, and then return them to the emergency services afterwards.
There you go.
But don't put yourself in danger.
No. Oh, very clever, Tom. Very clever. Oh. What do you have in terms of, if you have anyone that you can choose, historical or a family friend or relative, they can either be alive or, like I said, historical, past or present.
Yeah.
I give you a choice of two people, and you have to choose what topic you're going to talk to them about and where you're going to have a meal with them.
So at the moment, main one, for one family member, so I'm going to choose two, yeah? So family member first would be my granddad, who's currently 96 years old, in a care home with dementia. I'd like to go back 15, 20 years with him when I was younger, obviously. So when I was in my 20s, early 20s, and go out for a meal with him and spend some time with him and have a good old chat. And we usually end up taking the mickey out of each other. We had very good. We did have a very good relationship. He still recognises me, still calls me Tom, but usually shouts at me. And but yeah, that would be the highlight with my family member. I'd like to sit there, talk to him about family stuff. Would like to go fishing with him actually, as well, bringing the fishing in back in there. But yeah, and have a meal. Meal wise, the last meal I had with my granddad was in Dunkirk in France, and we was trying to. It was no one spoke English. I'm really rubbish at speaking French, and I was trying to order him a steak, and he ended up with a pot of mussels. So I would like to go back to France with him, sit there, overlooking the beach of Dunkirk, and order him a proper steak, which he wanted in the first place, but ended up with a cauldron of mussels because my French is so bad.
Oh, bless you.
So that's the family member. Oh, tears to your eyes. And don't get shocked in this one. Famous person. Oh my God. It have to be Elvis Presley. I absolutely love and adore Elvis. I know Elvis Presley obviously has mixed views, but so does everybody. But Elvis Presley would be an absolute amazing thing to sit there with him in the UK, because he only ever visited the UK to change planes. Yeah, when I had hair, that would have been good. You're all right, Phil. You can still do it. But yeah, Elvis Presley. I'm not serenading. You got another thing coming. The screen will crack. So yeah, Elvis Presley. What would we eat? I suppose he'd be more like a steak person, wouldn't he? Considering like myth says that he died on the toilet eating a burger, which is not true. But I suppose a nice steak meal. I don't drink alcohol that much really, but I would like a nice pint of Coca-Cola or something like that, not name branding or anything, something fizzy. Or maybe a bit of Prosecco. I don't mind a bit of Prosecco every now and then on special occasions, so I'll make allowances for Elvis. So yeah, Elvis Presley in a jumpsuit, eating a steak, and then we could have a little sing-along afterwards.
Ooh,
talking about what would we talk about? I don't know. Probably about his music, his life, his regrets, that sort of stuff, and getting really intimate and personal, like getting to know the legend and the man he was, and the kind side he had as well. You know, he had a lot of stick when he first became famous back in the 50s, Elvis the pelvis and all that sort of stuff. But what a legend. He's still going today, isn't he? You know, he's only just been beaten on #1 songs by Robbie Williams. So, you know, he is still going. He probably makes more money now than he did when he was alive. So, yeah, Elvis Presley. And where would we eat it? Either in the UK or maybe in Graceland. I wouldn't mind sitting in Graceland in the jungle room eating his steak with him.
Ooh.
Oh my God, that was an in-depth thought there. I never thought I'd have to answer questions like that.
I'm proud of you, Tom.
Everybody's going weirdo. But yeah, so yeah. My granddad and Elvis Presley, that'd be quite fun.
I'm going to put a little twist on here. I know you've got some questions, but I'm going to throw this into the mix.
Oh my God. Yeah, go
randomly. Because you've been doing so well, I'm going to randomly throw this at you now. If you was to be stuck on an island, what 3 items would you bring with you?
3 items. It wouldn't be Wilson out of the Castaway film. Because I think he'd just annoy me, keep staring at me, so I'd have to end up booting him into the water myself. So definitely not him. I'll probably take you, Phil. we can be together. No. So I would take water. Got to take water, unless it had like a waterfall, and then if it had fresh, has the island got fresh water on it?
It's got everything.
It's got everything on it already.
Yeah, but you got to have to bring, like all you're in a jungle, deserted island, so you could be
Right.
like Castaway kind of thing. But you have to
Right,
bring three
okay.
items. What would you bring with you?
A wind-up torch, so I can see at night. Don't take batteries because they won't last forever. So a wind-up torch. A multi-tool. And Julia Roberts. she'll probably end up booting me into the water. No.
Yeah.
and a fishing line and hook.
Yeah.
See?
Hey.
Then I can catch my dinner. Hopefully, but I'm rubbish at fishing, so probably not. But yeah. So yeah.
Oh.
Wind up torch, multi-tool, and fishing line.
Oh. If
And
you
if
had
I was
a choice.
Yeah.
Oh, go on. Sorry.
No, I was only
What
going to
was you
mention
gonna say?
Julia Roberts again. I love Julia Roberts, but go on, carry on.
Oh. Brilliant.
Don't tell Amy.
Oh no. Yeah, but that's if Amy wants to watch this or the interview.
I'm gonna make out it's been deleted.
She'll probably laugh actually when she watches it. She'll go, "Oh, that's all right. He mentioned Tom Hardy."
Yes, she does love Tom Hardy. If she can have Tom Hardy, I'll take Julia Roberts. There you go.
There you go. On a desert island, like you're next
Absolutely.
to each other.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be awkward.
Islands. Oh, this is so funny. Oh, if you had a choice right now, and you didn't have to worry about anything at all, and you said to Amy, right, and the children, where would you go? Just pack your bags, didn't have to worry about anything, bills, money, anything like that. Where would you go? Where would you travel, and what would you do?
See, I'd be under pressure from the kids because I know where they want to go. But I've always wanted to go to the Galapagos Islands.
Ooh.
So not to fish, funny enough, not to fish, but to be at one with nature. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Just, I think some places, like when I'm fishing in certain places, I kind of find myself and it makes sense. So I believe if I can do that in the UK, you imagine going to the Galapagos, what you can find yourself there, and the aura of nature around you.
Yeah.
So yeah, Galapagos, just to sit there and watch life go by with no humans.
Wow, that's amazing.
Does that make sense? Just a bit like being on a desert island, I suppose, with Tom Hardy and my wife. But yeah, she's definitely never watching this. And yeah, Galapagos Islands, somewhere like that, just to take it all in and make sense and come back down to reality, what everything is all about. Look at that. That's deep. You've got deep stuff coming out of me, Phil.
That's really deep. God. So deep I have to get a diver's suit on.
Oh. Yes,
wow.
Definitely.
Wow. Yeah. And a snorkel.
Yeah, obviously, otherwise you won't breathe that well. Please God.
There you go.
Phil's left the meeting.
I thought you might enjoy this interview, Tom. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Now, the other question is, as well, is when did you first ever get your own equipment, as in like your fishing rod on there? Was it with your dad and your uncles were there, or did you just think, right, I'm gonna use my dad's and everyone else's, borrow that for a bit, and then when I get the feel of knowing that I'm more comfortable getting my own stuff, I'll get it then? Or did they say, well, look, actually, we've got you something, here's a rod, and you'd be like, oh, it's like the holy grail of fishing. You get given your own rod, and you're like, yes, I have my own rod.
I wish that was the case. I do wish that was the case.
Okay.
I wish they thought like that when I was younger, but definitely not growing up in the 80s.
Okay.
It was all my own doing. So I remember I remember just before my birthday seeing a rod in a shop in Hornchurch, and I was with my mum. I was like, Mum, I want that for my birthday. But obviously it was a bit too close to my birthday because I believe my mum and dad already done all their birthday shopping for me. So in a polite way, my mum went, well, you have to see what you get for your birthday. If not, if you get any birthday money, you can buy it yourself. I was like, and it was the last rod. And I was like, oh my, and it was bright blue. It came with the floats. It was a proper starter set with a little reel. And yeah, it was like, that's what I want. So obviously birthday morning, I was very disappointed. I didn't get this rod. But lo and behold, my mum took me back down the shops in Hornchurch, bless her. And we went into the shop. It was like a bits and bobs shop called Stock Press. I think another shop's taken over from it now, still doing similar things. And I went in there and got this rod. I think it was about 12 quid, which was a lot of money. That was like more or less an Action Man price, that was. With the moving eyes. And I got it for 12 quid. 12 quid. And that was it. That was my 7th birthday present to myself. And then that was it. Off we went.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I have another few questions before we wrap things up, Tom.
Yes, love.
What is your favourite movie of all time?
Oh, so many, Phil. So many.
Okay, you can have a couple then. I'll give you that.
Okay, all right. So, serious movie. I love Meet Joe Black with Anthony Hopkins and Brad Pitt. I just think it's an amazing film, and the way it's done is very clever.
I like that as well. I like it.
And it makes you not scared of death.
Yes. No, that's true.
You know what I mean?
When I watched it, I felt the same way. When I watched it, it brought a tear to my eye.
Oh, mate, yes. So, and I like Brad Pitt, and I like Anthony Hopkins is an amazing actor, and
he is.
That film for that, and then I'm quite partial to a Ryan Reynolds film. Yes. So I think, and I don't want any grief from this, and I don't want any comeback. But Ryan Reynolds done a film called Definitely Maybe, and he takes his child talks about his ex-girlfriends, and the child has to guess who her mum is at the ex-girlfriend. And I love that film. I just love that film. I don't know why. It just everybody's going to think, oh my God, I thought we were going to say Die Hard or something like that.
I love this interview. I'm loving every second of it, Tom. I bet you're going to laugh by the end of it. You're like, why the heck did he ask me those funny questions?
Yeah. What was I thinking? So Meet Joe Black and Definitely Maybe. So Meet Joe Black and Definitely Maybe. They're my two favourite films.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, I've got a few more questions to ask you. It's like, what favourite ice cream do you have?
Mint choc chip all day long.
Oh, do you know what? That's my favourite as well.
I love it. Do you know why? And the only reason why is because if I have chocolate ice cream or any other flavour ice cream, I feel even more thirsty afterwards. Where mint choc chip gives you the nice cold relief, and it quenches the thirst as well because it's ice cold. and it gives that
Yeah.
minty flavour, so you don't feel as thirsty after mint chocolate.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's my overall favourite, because I think when if I didn't have a choice to that, it would have been rum and raisin. That's the next one.
Yeah,
that's my next one.
I would have to have a drink with rum and raisin, but yeah, like a nice cold bottle of water or a glass of Coke or something. But definitely mint chocolate.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, if you had a choice, right, to teleport back in time, what advice would you give your younger self? Just like in Back to the Future, with Marty and Marty McFly and that. What would you give what advice would you give yourself? Apart from not knocking yourself out, behind the door and all that, and hanging off clock towers and all that nonsense.
Getting kissed by your mum, that'd be a bit freaky.
Yeah, exactly.
What would I tell myself? Oh my God, it's probably so much, Phil. I'd probably say, look at life in a more positive way. Be kinder to people and more understanding, and be respectful. Be more respectful and don't judge others as much. So.
No, I like that.
Oh. Maybe I need to go to a mirror now and talk to myself now.
Be kind to yourself too, Tom. Be kind.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I won't take it as much. I'll end up smashing the mirror if I would go at myself. But yeah. So that was that would probably be the advice. And probably give some winning lottery numbers there as well, so I'll win the lottery. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
but only to do good.
Yeah. What is your more of a inspiring or inspirational figure of your life? Who would you say the most inspires you?
I say my wife and kids.
Good answer.
Well, I want to keep married, don't I? I don't want to go off with Tom Hardy.
I love it, Tom. You know what your wife would go? You're such a good man. Well done, Tom.
I know. What can I say?
She'll even laugh even more because you mentioned Tom Hardy again.
I know. She loves it, doesn't she? She loves it. She's definitely going off with him now. Tom, if you're going to watch this, from one Tom to another, she loves you. I think it's more the name Tom. I think she loves the name Tom. I'm going to ask what we're going to.
There you go, Tom.
I would say my wife and kids. Every day they make me wake up feeling positive and wanting to be a good person. And I always get the kids to read my books before I publish them as well.
Yeah.
Because they tell me how rubbish they are at the beginning.
No, that's good.
They're my audience.
They're the best critics, aren't they? They're the best critics, aren't they? So,
and Harry and Sophie are like, Dad, really? This is rubbish. And Harry goes, this doesn't make sense. What are you trying to do? Where's the grammar in this? And he's only 9.
Harry, you're a legend, mate, already. Legend in the making, Harry.
So they are my biggest inspiration. My wife and children, for me. There's other people as well, but directly involved with me is my wife and kids every day.
Oh. See, Amy, Tom Hardy, if you listen to this.
He wouldn't have said that.
He'll probably be watching this. He's like, who the heck is this?
Yeah, who's this bald bearded man with glasses with old earphones in? with wires.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear. Oh, Sophie's probably laughing at this when she watches it. She's like, Dad, what the heck were you thinking?
Yeah. What? Poor Phil.
Oh, and I'm enjoying this every second.
Yeah. She'll be looking at a picture of Tom Hardy on her phone, going, "Oh, what could have been, eh?"
Actually, now when you mentioned it about books,
Mhm.
have you considered making another one? And when would you be planning to do that? Or are you planning to do that?
I have. I'm
Another
prepared, Phil. I am prepared. Look at this. So hopefully, if everything goes well this year, and my illustrator, in polite words, pulls his finger out. Good. So my illustrator. Can I mention my illustrator? Is that all right?
No, you can. You can mention him. You can mention the illustrator. Yeah.
So my illustrator is my oldest friend. So I've known him since I was 3 years old. God help me. His name's Matt Walsh. And he's amazing. But I might give out his address so you can go and hound him. Just random people knocking on his door, going, "Hi, Matt." I won't tell you his address, but he lives in Latchington near Malden, so you can go and see him. He's usually in a pub in Malden, opposite a petrol station. So go and have a word with him in there. Ask for Matt Walsh. Sorry, Walshy. So the next book should be later this year. So, well, next year, sorry, 2023. So it should be around September, October, if all goes well. If not, it'll be 2024. But that is the new book. So it's called. Is that the right way round on your screen? So it's Tommy Tench.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Tommy Tench, the Doctor Fish. And this sit on. Obviously, there's no fishing involved. It's just a towel of a fish, and it stems from back in the old days. Back in the old days, I'm like ancient history now, but back in the old days, the myth was that if you had a tench, Phil, stop it.
Sorry, I'm loving this interview so much.
Thank you. In the old days, the myth was if other fish used to rub against the tench to get rid of parasites and heal wounds. Hence the nickname Doctor Fish. So that is a tench's nickname, Doctor Fish. So, and it's a tench. So I thought Tommy Tench, I could play with my name there, get my name on the front cover of a book. So that's what it is, Tommy Tench, Doctor Fish. And basically he goes around healing other fish. There's a bit of well-being and mental health in there as well, for especially for current because back in the 80s, even though mental health and well-being was still about, it wasn't talked about as much, and it's only recently, within so many years now, that we've actually got to grips and started talking about it. So it mentions a bit about mental health and that sort of stuff, and a bit. It's like a medical thing. So he's a Doctor Fish. He goes around treating other fish, and he's a bit of a psychiatrist as well. So he listens as well, which is good. He's a very impressive Tommy Tench. So hopefully that appeal to some kids. So that hopefully October. I don't want to give too much away of the story, you see.
No, that's fair enough.
So, and then there is another dedication in there as well, which I won't put out a spoiler, but there is another dedication to someone who I recently lost from the fishing world as well. A bit of a legend in his own right from Clapton on Sea. Watch his space.
I'm impressed. I feel honoured already.
Thank you.
Everybody else when they see it. Yeah, we'll look forward to it, Tom.
So and then I might try and do, if I want to make loads of money, I might try and do a 2-book deal. You know, buy one get one free, like the old Iceland advert.
Yeah, there you go. Well, the thing is, Tom, right? I can't wait till I'll be able to get the book or the other book as well, and get it officially signed and get it for my sons. For me to read
I've
to.
got a copy for you, Phil. I've got a copy signed for
Oh.
you for your sons, free of charge.
Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I appreciate that, Tom. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Oh, wow. It's been an emotional and fun-loving show. So, Tom, lastly, what I'd like to say is thank you very much. It's been an honour for you coming onto the Phil Carew Show. No, you're most welcome. And lastly, what is your favourite meal? Your favourite meal? That's your last. Yeah, the last question.
I suppose it's got to be a roast dinner. I love a roast dinner with all the trimmings. So obviously Christmas is a really good occasion because I like it. I love my Sunday roasts. I do like a Sunday roast dinner. I think people are moving away from it these days. Yeah, all trimming, and but it's very year dependent. I don't like having a roast dinner in the summer, but definitely this time of year, a nice beef roast dinner or chicken, especially turkey at this point in time, with pigs in blankets, stuffing, vegetables, Yorkshires.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh.
I do like mint sauce. I'm quite partial to a bit of mint sauce as well. So.
Yeah.
Nice. And then I've been brought up with this. This is my dad's fault. I do apologise. After you finish roasting and you got a bit of gravy left on the plate, mop it up with a bit of bread.
I used to do that.
Yeah. And then your plate's clean. You don't even have to wash up the plate and just put it straight back in the cupboard because it's all gone.
Tom. That's amazing. Because I used to do that when there was like a lot left with the gravy. I'd put the bread on there, and my dad used to tell me to do that as well and say, "Look, watch this." I was like, "Wow."
Yeah.
Let's go on, give it a go. I was like, "Oh, yeah."
Nice. And he just finishes it off nicely, and then an hour or so later, once it's all settled down, nice dessert. Nice dessert, a bit of custard or ice cream.
Nice.
Yeah, all the health. Thank you very much. Yeah, all the health gurus out there at the moment are going, "Oh my God."
Tom, do you know what? This is one of the funniest interviews I've done in a while, and it's been a pleasure. I look forward to doing another one with you. It won't always have to be with books. Now I know that we're on a wavelength where we can talk about not just books but other things. It'll be great to actually talk about other stuff and put it on a podcast, because I've got a feeling it's going to be a fun one to have you on a podcast, Tom.
Oh, thank you very much.
No, honestly, Tom, I think it'd be great to have you on, on a range of topics, and it'll be good to hear some ideas of what, because I know there's always lots of other people out there where they've given me some ideas to throw in onto the show, and it's they've helped me out a lot. And thank you very much for all of you followers and subscribers. Don't forget to share and subscribe on the Phil Carew Show, and I will be launching this soon, so you don't have to worry about that. And don't worry, Tom, I'll give you a copy first before I launch it.
Thanks very much.
So you can have a laugh and giggle at our silliness, especially my silliness.
You got to have a bit of silliness, definitely.
Oh God! It makes the world, smiling and laughter makes the world go round. Absolutely, definitely. Much appreciated. Thank you very much, Tom, and it's been an honour. And thank you very much, everyone, on the Phil Carew Show. And like I said, don't forget to subscribe and share. And there'll be some information I'll get from Tom about the book and some other bits and pieces that you'll want to know. I'll link it onto the information below before I launch it. And then enjoy. Thanks, everybody. See you in the next episode. And Tom, I've got a feeling that Tom will be on the other episodes, and it won't be just about fishing. There'll be some fun stories, I know.
God help them all. God help them.
Look forward to it. Thanks very much, Tom, and you made my day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, mate.
It's been a pleasure.
Take care.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye for now. Have a good day. Love to family.
You too. Take care, mate. Bye.